Hi everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie back with you with a design team project for Carolyn Musings, who is on Facebook, Carolyn Musings, on Etsy, Carolyn Musings, and also on Facebook, One Way Journals, and on YouTube, Carolyn Musings. So today I am using Harvest of Grace digital kit. It's a full journal kit. It's absolutely beautiful. And I love autumn so much. And I love lanterns a whole lot. And so I had fun with this project. So let me just show you the outside. So the outside, I created a frame. I just half an inch wide all the way around, put it on craft cardstock, and then covered it with some of the beautiful papers. And then I added acetate. I added the same photo, it's underneath. And then I cut these out, added some resin on various areas, and then I put it on top with a little bit of foam tape to pop it up on the top of the journal. Now the journal is covered in fabric on the outside that I had in my stash with a leather closure that goes all the way around. And I just added these 3 brads here as decoration. You certainly could add an eyelet here, maybe a dangle or something. I wanted to keep it simple, and I had thought about popping this up higher, and I thought, no, I think I want to keep it to where it's easier to lay flatter when it's open to journal or to go through the journal adding things into it. I added some corners, so all 4 corners. And these are Tim Holtz corners that I get off of Amazon. And let's go ahead and open it up. Now this is also cut out from the scene and also popped up. And then I used just a Chicago screw with a post. And they're real simple to put on. You can cover everything and then put them on because it's just done with a screw here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And then the post on the top. So actually you can cover your outside, cover your inside, and then add your leather, or maybe you want to use ribbon. I use leather because it's stronger to go over the post, and you want to make the hole smaller than the post because as you put it on and take it off, it will expand a little bit more. Aren't these colors gorgeous? I just love them. Okay, so let's open it up. So this is a heart journal, and here I have added one of the digital papers from the kit. I also added a strip here just to cover up some of the craft cardstock. And so I've put the same picture here and also on the back. And because it was so versatile, I was able to turn it around. So it really didn't matter which way it went. It was perfect. So I was able to make them the opposite of each other, if that makes any sense. So you see this here, and then you see it here. In front of each signature, I happen to have this vellum. I've had it for a long time. It's got design on it, and I decided to go ahead and use it on the front of each of the signatures. I've added lace on some of the pages inside each signature. Here, I created these vellum pockets. This was off of a video that Vanessa did for Carolyn Musings where she made these, and I just made my own version of it. I just loved what she did. And I also took these from one of the other kits. I will link all the kits below, but this is Old Rugged Cross Music, some of the hymns, and then also from one of the other kits I added this card inside. So when you're pulling this out, you still have something. You take out the music, you still have something to look at. That's beautiful. This is Pray. And then I added a feather sticker that I had in my stash. So I made 4 of these with different hymns. And then that goes in this pocket. And inside here, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy, Psalm 126:5. And then gorgeous here, I added this little sentiment, we shall reap. Went so well with this. So that's that pocket. Now there is a kit. So some of the stuff is from a kit that is Daily Bread Snippets. And so this was one of the items in there. And I decided to turn it into a flip out. So there's a pocket here, there's a pocket here, and I added this little fussy cut grateful heart to peek through the window here. So we've got that, and then we've got a couple of, one is a writing tag, journal card, and then enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise is his name. And this tucks, both of these tuck into this little pocket down here. And I added a flower here. And then what I decided to do is take the other pocket that comes over and then make a pocket on this side. And it also has a pocket here as well. So I thought it was a fun little thing to do with this. And this one has the same scripture. And then you've got lots of writing space. And on the back here, lots of writing space here. These are actual hymns from a hymnal that I received from a friend. She sent this to me, so I pulled them out carefully and hinged them back together. Had to trim them down a little bit, but I had added actual hymns from hymnal inside this journal. I just really love the way they just add to this. Gorgeous papers, just love them. Here we have another pocket. I added another one of these fussy cuts, and also the satisfied soul, and here it says grateful always. And then here we have writing space, and also here we have writing space. I just left these folded. You could glue them shut if you wanted to. I decided to add more writing space, and of course underneath here you would have writing space. Added a tab here on this one, lots of writing here and here. And then these were in the kit, and I thought, okay, what can I do that's kind of fun and different? So what they are is they're just folded. It's actually folded over. You can kind of see there. So it's kind of like a tall, you could use it as a belly band. So what I decided to do was use it as a flip out paper to journal on. So you got this way, and you could journal here and also here. And I have this in my stash. I just tore the edges to make it look vintage looking. And then I'm just using a vintage paper clip and also this pumpkin charm on here. So that dangles down. Just get it right. And then just holding it close, and they have a gorgeous charm. Just love the lanterns. There's so many of them in here. And then this, I just tucked in under here. Let Earth be glad. Lots of writing. So there's a few kits that go with this kit. I will link them all below. There is a writing kit, there is an ephemera kit, and then there's the main kit. Here is a hidden paper clip that I put together, just using these cards. And I think these are from, I think it's Blessed Bits. I'll make sure that everything is linked below, but I just used some scrap paper, added these on with a hidden paper clip inside, and they just go over the page like so. And then you've got something gorgeous to look at on both sides. More lanterns. Oh, I just love the lanterns. Here's another hymnal. And more writing space. Now the hymnal pages, when I cut them down, I just used some scrap paper to hinge them back together, and then on the inside I just added some washi tape just to kind of reinforce it. Got more paper. Gorgeous. This is a vintage trim that I had in my stash that was gifted to me a long time ago, and I thought it would go perfect in here. I didn't want to put tons of lace in here, but I wanted to have a little bit. Look at how beautiful the deer is. And that's the end of that first signature. And then here again is another piece of the vellum that's got printing on it. And I thought the colors are perfect to go in here. Look at this owl. And then this trim, I didn't say before, but this comes from Hobby Lobby. So if you have one near you, you could probably find that trim. Look at that owl, isn't he gorgeous? On the inside, the pumpkins, they're just so beautiful. Lots of writing. Here's another one of the tags I put together with one of these music hymnals, Standing on the Promises, and also a card inside here that says rest. Sometimes we need that. And actually, when I was preparing to do this, that's kind of what I needed to do. The Lord was leading me to rest. And so I did this all off camera. A lot of times I will show you what I'm doing. I just needed that time just to refresh my heart. So I just took the time. Now this is Harvest of Grace tag. And all of these have just a neutral backing on them, so you can still write on them. Here we've got Falling Leaves and Everlasting Light. Another hymnal. I just love the gorgeous, gorgeous pictures on these pages. They're just absolutely beautiful. Carolyn has just, as always, outdone herself. And I like the muted look, and then the strong look just goes so well together. Now this is a little window, and she came up with this great idea. And I was trying to think, okay, what can I do to kind of add to this? So what you do, I added these sentiments here. So fields rejoice, living waters known by him, fear not. But you just lift these up, and underneath, joy in the secret place. I just love this window that she put together. Under living waters, strength found in stillness. Prayer, the heart's best hour. Definitely prayer is the best hour. Seeking Jesus. And then morning mercies, endless love. I just love this. So I had to come up with some idea because I didn't want these to be flopping around. And so I thought, well, she's got all these gorgeous sentiments in here. I'm just going to use those. Let me just make sure I get that tucked in there. I don't want it to fly off here. So they're just barely catching it, just enough to hold it down so it didn't open as you go through the journal. So I just loved it. Just absolutely loved it. And then more writing space. And then these are from, I'm not sure which kit, but I'm linking all the kits below, but look at these. And I decided to make a interactive waterfall. So we've got this, and then this. And it was so fun. I just love the little faces, but you also have writing space on the backs of these. And Harvest of Blessings, and then a tiny mushroom charm. Very tiny. So I did that, added a tab. And then on this side, this is a pocket that matches the page. And I added this, every good gift. And then I had this envelope that I just added some extra fussy cuts in there. And I love the bird. Tuck that in, but look at that scene. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this one, Blessed Abundance for writing. And I tuck that in there. I always seem to forget to look at my pockets that match pages to make sure I kind of move them around. So they're both in the one signature, but actually it turned out okay. So more writing. And then here's the second one, and I added Bread of Life, ever watchful, sing his praise, rejoice always. Then there is this envelope here, and again I just added more fussy cuts, whatever I had left, and praise and plenty. So additional writing. And of course, you know, if you're not a journaler, you can just continue decorating, or you can add photos. Whatever you want to do. I just love the colors. They're so beautiful. Another hymnal page, more writing. And then in here we have a double pocket. I didn't want to cover this up, so I left it. Put both of these in the back. I just added some lace on here, chosen and kept. And look how this matches the page. Added the lace here. So I used 3 different laces. And then these are tags, Ever Thankful, Psalm 23:1, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Every good gift is from above, James 1:17. 17. And then writing space in here. So I added this with a bold pen and then added some sari silk here. And I put these in the back because I didn't want to cover this up. And then I added the Good Shepherd here. There's so much in these kits, and I I had so much fun with it. Then that's the end of that signature. And then here's the other vellum that I had. I was so excited that all of this went so well with it, so I could add it. The lanterns, pumpkins, and then more lace on this side. Look at this. They're so gorgeous. Lots of writing, lots of writing. So if you are a journaler, this is definitely for you. Another one of the hymnal pages, the other side. More writing space. Tried to leave a lot of writing space. And then here is another double pocket. And I added this mushroom and heavenly care. And then trust his care goes in the front. We can trust his care. And then golden mercies where I add the lace. I just stapled it on, added this bow. Thought about covering up the staples, but I thought, you know what, it's okay. It's okay. As long as it looks good on the front, I'm happy. Look at that spread. Isn't that gorgeous? Just absolutely love the muted and the strong colors, how well they go together. You guys will love, love, love these kits. Another hymnal page. More writing. More of this vintage lace. More writing, and the lanterns. Just could go crazy on the lanterns. Here's another one of the hymnal cards. I will sing of my Redeemer. And another one of the cards that says pray. And here I have another sticker. This one also matches the pocket. Pocket matches the page. So that's signature 3. And then this one, I had some roses, but they were kind of like I don't know, it looked kind of vintagey looking, and I thought, okay, it's going to go. I think it's going to go. And it did. It went very well with this. Look at this. That sweet face. More trim. The lantern. And then this is a flip. So you can write here, you can write here. And then what I did is this card looked just like this, but it had a little header up here. And I decided to add some paper to this. So I made it into a little notepad. And then I covered up where I put these brads. So that normally goes in here and it's white. So I just added this. And then it says faith in every season. And then I added this tag here, purpose and peace. And then it's a flip. You could hide this if you want to, but I didn't think it was necessary. More hymnal, more writing. Here is another one of the hidden paper clips. I believe these are from Blessed Bits. And then just papers from either the kit that this is all from, Harvest of Grace, or it's Florals, Autumn Florals. I used some of the paper from that. All the kits will be listed below. Here we have another double pocket. Gather together and give thanks. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Psalm 24:1. That goes in the front. And then we have this one, Bountiful Grace, again with some trim and a bow. And then we have this tag, O Lord, how manifold are thy works, Psalm 104:24. And Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. And again, you can open this up and write in it if you choose to. And so I wanted to tuck that in here, let this move freely. And then on this side, on the back, I have another one of those flip out paper things, but I added these two tags, Autumn Praise and His Golden Blessings. And then on this side, on the charm, it is a little pine cone. It's kind of hard to see. And then this is another one of these that I turned into a flip out writing space. So on both sides. And this is just some grungier coffee dye paper. Tuck those in. And then more gorgeous lanterns, another tab. I just put a tab 1 in each of the signatures. Gorgeous owl and bird. More lanterns. This is what's on the front as well. So you can see the full photo of what it looks like. So that is what's underneath. Then the acetate frame around it, and then this was, I fussy cut this out and then put it on top with some puff tape. Just love the colors. The autumn is just my favorite time of year. That bird. More of this trim. Look at that sweet face. Oh my gosh. Just so adorable. And then this is an additional item in the kit, and I took some of these cards, I think they're from the Blessed Bits, and I decided to fill the windows. So this side, we have them without acetate, and this side I have it with acetate. Let me get that glare out. So I wanted to do something different. So it comes as a flip. I put it underneath this piece before I put it down. And I've considered adding some glossy accents. I probably will do that, but I wanted to get this out so you guys could see it. So isn't that fun? Super fun. I just cut out all the windows and made this fun thing. So ever watchful, Psalm 121:4, known by him, John 10:14, my soul longs, Psalm 42:1, he feeds me, Matthew 6:26. It's just something you can look at and just feel God's presence and the things that he does for you. And on this side, pray and have faith and rest, which is what I had to do, and trust his care, Matthew 6:26. Just love it. And then here's the back. Now the leather is loose so that you can easily put it on and take it off. Okay guys, this was such a fun, just rewarding project. I hope you guys will check out these kits that I'll link below and give it a try, or just print it out, do whatever you would like to, however you'd like to create your journal. But I have someone in mind for this, and I hope that that person will be so blessed. So, okay, you guys have a great day. God bless you all. We'll see you at the next video. Bye.